Welcome, everyone, to another live stream. We're here to talk about A New Hope. And, I'm joined with Auditect. And,
Hello there.
some other people should hopefully be coming in soon. But, so we'll just get started. And then whenever they pop on, we'll put them in. All right. So let's get started with discussing Luke Skywalker from the movie. Do you want to begin, Auditect?
Luke Skywalker. Like I mentioned earlier, I think it's a bit of a shame he doesn't show up until like so late into the movie. But maybe I'm not one to talk because I love Phantom Menace and Anakin shows up even later. Luke, I think Luke really doesn't feel as complete in this movie. I think it's pretty obvious this movie was kind of made with some sort of a sequel in mind because he doesn't become a Jedi. He never really picks up the lightsaber again after Obi-Wan has it. I mean, like he's a good protagonist, but I think he doesn't become great until the next two films.
Yeah, that's true. Luke really, I think, becomes interesting in the next two. This one is kind of just a introduction. So
yeah, but on the same side, I think Jedi Luke wouldn't have been as great in Return of the Jedi if we didn't see where it all began. I think
that's true.
The story as a whole is better that he's not this great and capable guy just yet.
He has a nice character arc.
Absolutely.
Is there anything else you want to mention about Luke in A New Hope?
Nothing that comes to mind. If I think of something, I'll say it later.
All right, let's move on to Princess Leia then.
Princess Leia, great character. It was pretty progressive for the time to have a heroine who fights as much as she does, who takes turn saving the men a lot of the time.
Yeah,
but she's great, and I feel like she's kind of great at all the films. But she doesn't undergo as much of an arc as Luke does. Again, it is one thing what was I gonna say? One thing that kind of bothers me is that she doesn't contribute to the final battle all that much. She's 3PO kind of just standing in the command center and waiting for things to happen. And on the spot, I couldn't think of a way to have her be more active, but you gotta love that she has the sass to insult Vader and Tarkin to their faces. Like, this woman's not afraid of anything. Like, and I think she might be the most interesting to me out of the three main characters, simply for how involved she is. In the largest scale of the galaxy. Luke wasn't really involved with the rebellion before this. Han was more. Han does have a lot of interesting story, but it's more about the criminal underworld side. Leia was always involved with the politics, and I think that's what makes her. That's a nice way that makes the three main characters interesting and separate from one another. But I think Leia's story is the most interesting to me, since she was always involved with the main conflict of the series.
Okay, yeah. She's pretty much the same throughout all three. She's got her, I don't know, like she's just kind of like a leader through all three, and
I feel like she becomes a lot more chill in Return of the Jedi, by Return of the Jedi, though I can't really I'm not sure if that's really an arc because I don't know what would make this change. But in this one, she's like always complaining to the heroes they're not rescuing her fast enough. She's insulting Tarkin and hello. She's insulting Tarkin and Vader to their face, and in Return of the Jedi, she's like, "Oh, I'm your sister." You know, somehow I've always known. She doesn't emote as much in that movie. I get the feeling, but that's still the one where she kills Jabba. So yeah, you know, Leia's awesome.
Yeah, she is. Let's see. Anything else on Leia?
I think I said it all. This would be easier if we had more people to bounce off of.
I don't know. Man. Well, with that, let's go to Han Solo then.
Yes, the lovable rogue.
Mm-hmm.
I think out of the three characters, he undergoes the most of an arc in the film, with him, not really caring about, you always get the feeling he has his heart of gold, but at the first, he's just in it for himself, and at the end, he comes back and, saves the day with him not killing Vader, although that would have changed the story quite a bit. But that also kind of, means that Luke is kind of the only one who contributes to the final battle all the time. Even though I wouldn't really change a thing about Han swooping in at the last second.
Yeah.
But,
I think that's perfect for Han Solo as a character.
It is, but I just feel the final. I guess we can talk about the finale later, but it's a bit light on the characters. I mean, the finale is more about it's Luke, but it's also like Wedge and Tilly's and Biggs, and they are barely in the movie aside from that. So, I guess that's a little critique I have for the movie. But I'm like, we're supposed to be talking about Han Solo, and
Yep.
I was gonna say something. It's more of a joke suggestion, though. I don't know if you want to get into special edition changes. I might want to save it up for that. Okay. Actually, I'm gonna start this with a question. If you could change something special edition wise, what would it be? And don't say something like restore it to the original. Like, think of something new.
Think of something new. Let's see. Is it all right if I say, well, no, because that would be taking it back to the original. Because my biggest issue with the special edition for New Hope is Han Solo and the Greedo fight.
Oh yeah, that's what I was gonna edit. I'm gonna make it I'm gonna make it a trillion times better. So
yeah.
Here's the Auditect edition. The Auditect cut. So Han Solo and Greedo are gonna. Oh, Ted is here. Hey, he reacted a lot to my What about Han? She was talking to go away. Just wanted to go gambling with all that loot. Maybe I don't know whose decision it was. I feel like it's stronger if it is Han's decision, but wasn't. Oh, that's from the new canon, but there's that book of certain point of view that gets into it. Yeah, I'm McClunky. Yeah, I was gonna talk about the Auditech cut. So listen up. So Han and Greedo are gonna have that conversation with, it's gonna be pretty much unchanged, and then Greedo says McClunky. You that can't be missing. Greedo has to say McClunky, and he will fire the first shot. It's imperative that Greedo shoots first and Han shoots back, but it's not a killing shot. Like, Greedo also digitally stretches his neck and dodges. Mm-hmm. And then the two of them are getting into this huge firefight, and no one can land a hit, even though they're sitting right next to each other. And then Greedo will say, "I am all the bounty hunters," and Han will say, "And I am all the scoundrels," and kill Greedo. And then the movie just continues like normal.
Is that the Disney version?
That's the Auditech cut. Release the Auditech cut.
Okay. Oops, not that. That one. There you go.
I mean, Han versus Greedo.
Yep.
Yeah.
The power of many. Yeah. Interesting. But yeah. Anything else on Han Solo?
On Han Solo. He was never that character I connected with much personally. I do like him. He's just not much of a character I relate to, you know? So I don't know. I feel like I have disappointingly little to say about him.
Yeah, I was always a bigger fan of Luke.
I'm more of a Luke guy too. What do you think of that scene they added with him meeting Jabba the Hutt?
It's okay, I guess. I don't know.
I think it sticks out a bit too much since it's so CGI heavy and it has Return of the Jedi music, which sounds very different from the A New Hope music.
Yeah, I think the scene could have stayed in, but I don't think it makes sense for Jabba to have slithered all the way down there, and it could have just been some henchman.
Maybe like some walrus-faced guy, maybe one who uses Jabba the Hutt's name as his own or something.
Yeah.
Also, yeah, it seems a bit unbelievable that Jabba would just tolerate Han stomping on his tail when he executed Ula for much less.
Yeah. Yeah. But I think when they filmed that scene, they didn't have
the tail in mind.
Yeah, the tail wasn't there. So that's why you have to have that weird where Han Solo like skips up and then back down. It looks kind of janky.
One thing in the scene's defense, a lot of special editions changes really don't feel like they were planned from the beginning. This one does. Simply because obviously it was filmed in the 70s.
Yeah.
All
right. Is that it on Han Solo?
Yeah. I'm sorry. I feel like if we had other people here, they could say more interesting things.
Yeah. Well, let's move on to Chewbacca.
I have even less to say about Chewbacca because Chewbacca, he's like, I think Chewbacca is more like an accessory to Han than a character on his own.
Yeah, sometimes it feels like that sometimes. Especially in the movies.
Yeah, he's Han Solo's sidekick who doesn't talk. And I think there's a reason why you barely ever get any like subtitles for Chewbacca, but then you read the Stark Hyperspace War, and you do in fact learn what Taivoka has to say, because unlike Chewie, Taivoka has something worthwhile to say. And I'm sorry, I'm being kind of harsh here on Chewie, but I don't know. I feel like he could be missing from the movie and not much would change.
That's true.
It's sad, but he is the most prevalent alien character in the movie.
Yes.
Other than like the guys in the Mos Eisley Cantina and the Jawas and the Tuskens, there aren't many in the film at all. Like in this movie, it seems like all of the rebellion and all the Empire are completely made up of humans, and all the other species are like, I wonder what these weird humans are up to with their war that no other species in the galaxy is involved in, except Chewbacca, apparently.
It'd be nice to have more aliens. Not necessarily in the Empire side, but definitely the Rebellion side.
Yeah. I think it's kind of funny how that one Imperial officer, I don't remember his name, but he looks at Chewbacca and says, "Where are you taking this thing?" And the expanded universe is like, oh yeah, this guy was like one of the biggest racists in the entire Empire. Seemingly just from that line.
Yeah.
But Leia is also racist to Chewbacca, like in that same movie, not that long after. So was she one of the biggest racists in the rebellion?
Well, but she was imprisoned on the Death Star and got tortured and all that.
Okay.
So
That's fair.
Yeah,
But
she's ready
but
to get off the Death Star.
yeah, that's fair. Um,
Yep. Well, if that's it with Chewbacca, let's move on to the droids, C-3PO and R2-D2.
yes, iconic. The movie is kind of told more through their perspective than Luke's. I get the feeling.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, and I heard that George Lucas's thought process on making R2 was usually the MacGuffin is something that the characters in the story care about, but the audience does it. So what
Mm-hmm.
if the audience did care about the MacGuffin? So he put the Death Star plans in R2. And you know, thinking of it, was it that smart to take R2 with them onto the Death Star when the Empire wanted the Death Star plans back so badly, and it was in R2.
That's true, but they kind of have to take him there, and then they kind of get sidetracked with rescuing
Yeah,
Princess Leia.
yeah. You know, this doesn't get revealed until the prequels, of course, but one of my favorite things about R2 and 3PO is that the more humble R2 was built for use on a royal starship, and the prissy C3PO was some slave kid's hobby project.
Yeah.
Yeah, but in regards to this movie, I think there's no denying that R2 is definitely the more useful of the two. And you know, think of it, it's
Mhm.
kind of impressive just how involved R2 is in the destruction of the Death Star, seeing that he not only was the one carrying the plans, but also in the ship that blew it up. I mean, like maybe people give Luke credit for destroying the Death Star, but you know, maybe R2 was the real mastermind here. R2 was involved in the destruction of the Death Star before Luke was even in the rebellion.
Are you advocating for R2 to get a medal as well?
You know what? Well, where would you put it? He doesn't have a neck.
Well, he can hold it inside him, I guess. And then he can show it off every once
You
in a
know what?
while.
I'm gonna say it. R2 deserved that medal more than anybody, including Luke.
Okay.
Yeah. Three. You know, I'm trying to remember. Did he actually translate anything in the movie? Because that's like his primary function. And
No. Does he translate anything in the original trilogy? I don't think
the
he does.
The Ewoks. He.
Oh, that's right. Yes.
Well, took him a while to get useful, but there we go.
Yep.
Yeah, R2 got shot. Yeah, but he's R2 still made it. He's they you know what?
That's true.
You know what? R2 didn't destroy the Death Star. Like Luke turned off all the computers and used the Force.
Okay. Sounds good.
Yeah, so maybe he was still there, and he was still the one who made the destruction possible in the first place. So yeah.
True. Very important and integral to the story, because without him, they wouldn't have blown it up.
Yeah. Yep. R2 is the real hero.
Mm-hmm.
And I guess C3PO is his funny sidekick, not the other way around.
That's true.
3PO is the Chewbacca to R2's Han Solo.
Yeah. Yeah. All right.
Yeah. C3PO and R2 are always the comedy duo, says Calkite the Line, and okay, C3PO is comedy, but R2 is not. R2 is great, but he is not comedic. He doesn't even talk. He just beeps. I mean, R2 is great, but he's not funny.
You have to rely on what C-3PO says as he's interpreting for R2.
Yeah.
That's where I think the humor in terms of R2 comes from.
Yeah. The small collection of R2 toys, always my favorite. Ah, sweet. I do like that we see that these aren't like the only astromech and protocol droids in the movie, and there are
Yeah.
a bunch of, especially as yeah, we see one other like silver protocol droid running around on the Tantive 4, but I like that we get a whole bunch of astromechs so that R2 doesn't look too special. I kind of get that when other movies like show a robot, it's usually the only robot that looks at it, but I like that there are palette swaps of R2 always driving around.
Yeah.
It kind of makes it look feel more realistic. R2 was supposed to have a New York accent and curse a lot. Yeah, that's why everything he said was bleeped out.
Yep. All right.
Yeah.
Is that it on the droids?
Oh yeah. I suppose that's it on the droids, and I think we can end with the revelation that R2 deserved that medal, even though he doesn't have a neck.
Fair enough. What about Chewbacca? Does he deserve a medal as well?
I mean, I don't think we even saw him in the final battle, though. I guess
he's there with Han co-piloting.
I mean, I guess, yeah. I mean, if Han gets one, I suppose Chewbacca should get one too. That's only fair. But I think I read the Marvel comic, and they said that Chewbacca just doesn't need that Wookiees apparently don't really value medals. Actually, I do have something to say about Chewbacca. Okay. Did you watch that Robot Chicken sketch where he takes Han to meet the family, and they are all wearing clothes, and Han is like, "Have you been naked all these years?"
I haven't seen that.
Okay, but that's what happens, and Taiwaka wears normal clothes. Chewbacca really is a nudist. Hey, Chewbacca fired the shot at Vader. Well, good job, Chewbacca. He survived. Chewbacca would rip out somebody's arms for beating him at chess, but can't bring himself to kill the most dangerous man but he messes up the chance to kill the most dangerous man in the galaxy.
Yeah.
Good job.
He had one job.
Yeah.
Chew. Well said.
Yeah.
All right. Let's move on to Obi-Wan.
Okay. I feel like I'm being a bit negative, but Obi-Wan is another character who I feel gets better in the prequels.
I agree with that.
Oh, yeah. He I don't know. In this movie, he just seems a bit... I don't know. He seems kind of mean. Like, I don't think like he says the Force can have an effect on the weak. I don't think a Jedi should look down on weak-minded people like that. That's some like. I'm thinking of other characters who use the term weak-minded, and it's always a villain. It's never said by a sympathetic character. It's
true. And
I kind of like the prequels just explaining. It just works on several species, and yeah, that makes more sense to me because, there's so much neurodiversity in humans alone. So, altering the thought pattern of a completely different species might get complicated. Yeah. I mean, Obi-Wan is still good for introducing the whole Jedi thing to the universe.
Yeah.
Like we wouldn't have that in the same way if it wasn't for Obi-Wan, of course. His duel with Vader is cool, but also just kind of in retrospective if you know their whole backstory.
Yeah, it's it's simple, but that's technically the first lightsaber fight ever filmed, so that's why it's simple. But yeah.
One thing that's interesting is that this movie doesn't really establish Force ghosts yet, so
That's true.
one could interpret the ending when Luke hears Obi-Wan's voice as just Luke thinking, yeah, what would Obi-Wan tell me right now,
Yeah.
and not so that's a thought I had. Um, uh, it's weird how how Luke seems to mourn Obi-Wan more than Leia mourns her entire planet.
Or Luke mourning Uncle Owen and Aunt Beru.
Yeah. Yeah. Actually, that there is something about the movie that maybe I should have said in the Leia section, but after Vader captures the Tantive 4, he asks the other Imperials to inform the Senate that all aboard were killed, which means Bail Organa and Brea thought Leia was dead, and they never found out she wasn't before Alderaan was destroyed. They died grieving their daughter who wasn't even dead. That's just depressing.
Yeah. That's true.
Someone joining? Oh no! It just moved the. Huh, that's weird.
Maybe they're having connection issues.
Well, all right.
All right. Anything else on Obi-Wan?
Obi-Wan. You know, you gotta appreciate how he already kind of had the Jedi Knight look in this film. Like he wore the robes so well, they matched with the lightsaber so well that it kind of became the standard thing for Jedi to wear. Apparently.
Yeah.
There we go.
Hello, Nazo.
Yeah, sorry for my lateness. I'm not gonna lie, I completely spaced on this.
That's okay.
Welcome.
So, sorry for my again. I completely just kind of spaced. That had other things going on. My nieces were over. I just went through 2 of my own live streams a while back, and I thought for sure we were gonna watch the movie before. I mean, I did. I have watched the movie, obviously, but
yeah.
I thought we were gonna.
We're just having a chill conversation.
Yeah, sure. Do you have anything to say about the characters you missed? Luke, Leia, Han, Chewbacca, the droids, or Obi-Wan?
Let's see here. Oh, hang on, this comment. Okay. Sorry, I read comments when I get the chance.
Okay.
But as far as like the characters, so you just talked about like the main cast at least.
Yep.
Yeah.
We've been through Luke, Han, Leia, Chewie, the droids, and Obi-Wan. So feel free to give your thoughts on those.
Luke, the obvious ideal farm boy. The one cruising, looking for adventure. Obi-Wan, the wise mentor. Han Solo, the reluctant hero. Princess Leia, would normally be a typical damsel in distress who turns out to be not so much in distress, or a damsel for that matter.
Yeah.
And then the droids, which are pretty much the 2 clowns and just. I've heard some people. I know some people compare them to like the 2 butlers for the warlord in Hidden Fortress, but I've also heard them kind of compared to like Rosencrantz and Guildenstern from Hamlet.
I think that's more Tag and Bink.
Yeah, I buy that too. But they both kind of have a goofy vibe to them, at least.
True.
C-3PO being the more practical one, and then R2 being
true.
The zany droid, and then the 2 beliefs. Sorry, I apologize for the my nieces are over.
When I dubbed the Deveronian version, somebody also compared that to Rosencrantz and Guildenstern.
Yeah, I didn't get the chance to listen to it all, but I heard your impression of Billy or whoever you had doing the impression of Billy, and I liked it.
That's not me. That's the anime academic. Hey, but he's fun voice to do. I can kinda do it.
Typically, when I imagined Billy's voice, you guys ever seen, what was it, the Clone Wars cartoon where you had that you had that not Deveroni, you had
Hondo?
that no, I think it's in like seasons 4 or 5. It was the D Squad. Anyway, you had the guy who was raising a clone, and he was a Sulliston.
Oh, yeah.
Oh yeah, but I don't remember what he
He's
sounds
Tom
like.
Kane's voice,
That's
because Tom Kane voiced
Kind of Russian
Wait, Tom
Yeah.
Kane or Tom Kenny?
Tom Kane.
Tom Paine.
Tom Kane, okay. Tom Kenny was in the show too. He was Newt Gunray and Nadar Veb.
Hmm.
Oh, I know. But what I mean is with in regards to Tom Kane, like it was mentioned that he also voiced Villy in Galactic Battleground. So I just imagine that. I don't know why, but I always imagine the Deveronians as Russian. So
Oh yeah.
I imagine Villy with that sort of stereotypical.
Yeah, I have Galactic Battlegrounds in German. I don't know how to change the language, but I want to know what Tom Kane as Villy sounds like. Couldn't find footage on it on YouTube though.
If you want to know who Tom Kane sounds like, just look at like Yoda from the Clone Wars. Either one.
I know Tom Kane. He was also Yoda in as early as the Phantom Menace video game.
Not too surprising. But yeah, like the Star Wars itself, part of the reason why it's such a classic movie is because it came at a time when there were no heroes. Like everybody was idolizing outlaws. Roughly in the 70s, like there were, and Star Wars kind of harkened back to like the classic, Flash Gordon, Buck Rogers.
True, but there was
Like
also an outlaw. There was an outlaw in the movie too.
Han Solo, I know, but he was not the primary hero of the story, or at least
True,
in
but he
that
might be there
particular
to
degree.
He might be there to appeal to those watchers, though.
Well, one thing I thought worked well, at least with Han's arc, is that by the end of it, he does do the right thing, even if it's not necessarily like the easy thing, because the easy thing is just to go back, pay your debts, and then do your own thing from that point on. But he chose to turn around, and that's a very unselfish thing to do. So it was kind of like sowing the seeds, not of who Han Solo was then, but of who he would eventually become.
Yeah. Did you catch my fix for the Han Solo Greedo fight?
I did not.
Okay. Can I explain it again?
Oh, please do.
Okay. So here's the Auditect cut of that scene. I'm gonna improve that movie, that scene way more than it ever was. So Greedo says McClunky. So the dialogue comes as usual. Greedo says McClunky, of course.
Right.
Greedo shoots first. That's very important. And Han dodges by digitally stretching his neck, and he shoots back. And Greedo also stretches his neck. And oh, hello.
Hello there.
Hello. So
Greedo
Sorry,
also
I have too many
stretches his neck?
Discords.
Oh yeah, so Han and Greedo get into a full firefight. Neither of them manages to hit the other, even though they're sitting right across from each other. No shot ever lands. And then Greedo says, "I am all the bounty hunters," and Han says, "And I am all the scoundrels." And then that's when he does the killing shot.
for a second there, before you brought up that obvious jab at a certain movie, before that, it sounded an awful lot like a Naked Gun skit.
Yeah, to make that certain movie a bit more plausible, we're gonna have to include that dialogue chain, that dialogue exchange in
Makes sense.
a
Now,
lot of
I
other
kind of
previous. We gotta have like General Grievous grab that electro staff, walk to the edge of the cliff, like prepared to push Obi-Wan off and say, "I am all the droid generals." And Obi-Wan says, "And I," he grabs the blaster, "am all the negotiators." So uncivilized.
No, but like, I kind of feel unprepared because one of the things I wanted to do was I wanted to watch like Empire of Dreams. I wanted to watch the original Star Wars documentary, and I wanted to listen to the radio drama of A New Hope because I heard there's some really killer lines in that.
I listened to I think I started listening to it. I think it starts out with Luke and Biggs having their little adventure in Vegas Canyon. I remember once they accomplished whatever they wanted to do in that, they destroyed the Death Star music plays. I think it was edited in pretty well.
Doesn't the hello?
It fills in a lot of scenes. Sorry.
Yeah. Is my mic working?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, good.
Yeah,
Because at some point I'm gonna have to do because I have the original Marvel run for the A New Hope comic books. So at some point I wanted to do the comics, the novels, the radio drama, the behind the scenes, and then rewatch the movie just with all the context. And then
Did you guys say you had a question about the radio drama? Because I have I have the script to it.
Oh, nice.
I didn't know if you needed me to find anything.
No, like it's available on YouTube. I just need to, buckle down and watch. I was because I was listening to an NJO novel, so like,
oh yeah,
I'm like I can't listen to two things at once. So I can't listen to the radio drama and an NJO novel. So.
The radio dramas are really good.
I'm not surprised that Brian Daley pretty much. From the get-go, and he was the one that pretty much before his passing pretty much lobbied for the Return of the Jedi one.
Oh really?
Yeah. Mind you, this is all information I got from James Lucino, who was pretty much his best friend throughout that time.
Oh, that makes more sense of why he made that duology. The what's it called? The Jedi Eclipse, the Dark Tide.
Yeah.
No, not that one. The other one, the one after that one. That one references Brian Daley's stuff all the time.
Yeah, no, him. Because I guess he would drag Brian Daley like everywhere around the world.
Yeah.
And I asked him a specific question. I said, have you ever seen the movie Planes, Trains, and Automobiles? And he's like, yeah, and that he knew exactly where I was going with it. He's like, yeah, I was that guy for him. For anybody who's seen Planes, Trains, and Automobiles, John Candy pretty much dragged Steve Martin on a trip through hell just to get him home to Thanksgiving.
Oh, that's fun.
And it's a great funny movie, but I should be talking about the actual movie we're supposed to talk about, but
Yep. Yeah. All right. Fine additions. What are your thoughts on Luke, Leia, Han, Chewie, the droids, and Obi-Wan?
Well, all the main characters.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry, I have a cough. Where to begin? I love them all.
Yeah.
Honestly, one of my favorite movies. I feel like it gets overshadowed with a lot of the other ones, especially Empire. But it's definitely like it's that movie. Like it should. Like people say, there's a lot of overhyped movies, but I feel like this one is pretty well hyped for what it is.
Yeah.
It changed cinemas. The characters are the basic character types, but in different environments. Let's see. What did you say? You said just the main characters.
Yep, that's who we
Yeah.
to thus
Luke,
far.
Luke is my favorite character. Tatooine, I love. I'd say Tatooine's a character as well. I love that environment that it has. I'm actually working on a Lego Tatooine, and I'd
Cool.
like to tie together, obviously, the scenes from the movies. I have Mos Eisley Cantina. I adore that. The binary sunsets. You can really see Luke's character. I mean, I'm just naming stuff from the movies. Leia. I don't know if this was something intentional, but if it was, I'd say it's genius that Leia's accent changes in the movie, but it's only whenever she does scenes with Imperials, like Tarkin, that she uses the British accent, and then she uses more, American throughout the rest of the movie. And I think that's really cool to show the kind of character that she is, because she's a politician trying to play for those different parts. Han Solo's great. Chewie's great. They all have good little character moments. They all have to step, I mean, if this was the only movie that they made, it would be a great movie. But yeah, I am team. I don't know if you guys can see it. I am team Luke and Leia, but this is before everybody knew that they were related.
Wait, was that from the 70s panel or the 80s panel?
It was from my nightmares.
That is probably the 70s one. So
I would hope so, because there was a 1980s comic book. Now, I get, that, mind you, these were the old Archie Goodwin comic strips.
Yes.
Now, I get that it takes place during a time where they don't know that they're siblings, but by then the majority of the audience knows, for anybody who's reading those old newspaper strips. So I imagine a collective ugh.
Yep.
Whenever anybody saw a panel like that.
So there's a podcast called, what is it called? The Wayback Machine. I think that's what it's called. Magneto Alex. I've popped on a few of your guys' streams just saying hi. Yeah. They were keeping track of how many times they were romantically involved, along with how many times Luke has crashed his starship, which is usually how the comics then would start. I saved that. That's mainly for the show. I didn't realize I still had it on, but I do that to bug Alex. Which it's crazy, because whenever I show people this Star Wars, they will watch A New Hope and they'll be like, I get that. Okay. And then they watch Empire and they're like, I kind of dig Luke and Leia. There's a famous or a viral video. Well, yeah, when you don't add the realization of siblings context, then they're actually not a bad couple. Although I don't think her as a politician and him as a Jedi would have really worked romantically. Well, I mean, it didn't last time that happened. Their parents. Yeah. The only reason it kind of worked with Anakin is because they were kind of willing to keep it a secret. Yeah. And it was a different time when the Jedi had more of a presence in the Republic. But when it comes to the OT, because remember, anybody who's read like the Bantam era knows Luke spent a monotonous amount of years gathering Jedi stuff before he even decided a place to set up an academy. So, right. there's a viral video that went around. It is of Kanye West. Of course, he's a little nutty, but he was talking about Star Wars, and he said, "So the main character of Star Wars is Luke. It's made by George Luke. Yes." And then he's got it, and then he goes, he kissed his sister, and it's just out of nowhere. It's like kind of like, oh, okay, that's weird, George, that you would make that. But
well, here's an interesting aspect that not a lot of people. So originally, Han was supposed to die. Luke was supposed to be with Leia, and they were setting up the potential for another trilogy.
Yeah.
In which Luke was going to go find his sister. Leia was not his sister, at least within that portion of the planning stage. Also, there's another detail. I just had it. You guys ever heard of a YouTube channel called So Uncivilized?
So Uncivilized.
I don't think so.
He has one of the best, objectively best videos about Luke Skywalker that I've shown it to a couple of people, and it's well worth the watch.
Let me see.
Have you seen that Marvel comic where C-3PO bridal carries Luke?
What?
It's been like a year or two, but I think so.
Yeah. It's very early on. Like, they're still on the wheel while that happens.
Yeah.
Did they have relations? Sorry,
he's a robot.
That's also Luke's brother, so didn't stop it last time.
Oh, sorry. I meant Luke and Leia. Did they have relations? I mean, it was the 70s. Yes, I found that page. I'll have to give some of those a watch. They're not too long.
Yeah, no, the other ones were just kind of okay, even though I thought they were decent. But like the Luke Skywalker one was one that actually really spoke to me in that regard.
I think we're talking about this movie, but I think really shows how much of an impact it was because they literally. Disney gets the rights to Star Wars and they remake this movie and even take the same characters and put them back in their A New Hope positions. I don't know.
Although I don't think Luke, being a coward on an island is the same as being on a...
I was referring to Han Solo.
Oh, Han Solo.
He's a deadbeat in the beginning of A New Hope, and then he redeems himself, and then he's a deadbeat again. Like,
it's almost like everything that happened in the original trilogy didn't amount to anything.
Even this.
You're being mean first by taking.
I actually saw a fan wishing that. In the Force Awakens had a scene in Maz Kanata's castle where Han Solo would have been confronted by a Rhodian bounty hunter. And come on,
what?
They
already did that scene. They did it with the Rathtar scene.
Yeah, I remember when I was watching that like for the first time in the movie. I thought, like, what's going on? Why are we wasting our time on this?
Yeah.
Seriously, just like a random Rhodian walking up to him and going,
I am Greedo the Third.
Technically, that would be Greedo the... Wait, would that be Greedo the Second or Greedo the Third?
The third. Though I guess... Greedo kind of got retconned from being the first and the second in A New Hope, and this is a TCW retcon I don't really mind since... because Greedo was in that deleted scene in Phantom Menace, and it was intended to be the same character, but they retconned that to be like Greedo the Elder and the Younger, and TCW kind of restores the original intent. So I guess this one time Greedo is closer to the movies than than the EU was. So I don't know.
All right, let's talk about Darth Vader.
Oh yes. One thing that I have to notice about Darth Vader is his introduction scene is written a bit weirdly. He's always yelling, "Commander, tear the ship apart," and he doesn't. He usually is very composed in like all the other movies. The only other time where he yells is when he screams "No" after Padme dies. But yeah, they definitely got his intimidating presence right the first time. His design and voice is absolutely immaculate, and to this day, it's hard to find a villain who really has a voice and appearance as terrifying as his. He was pissed at the beginning, yeah, but he doesn't get pissed this much in the rest of the films, not even in matters as personal as his own son.
Well,
Which
I feel like in this one he's like fighting for his life against the Emperor, but then by the time of Empire and Jedi, he knows that he has Luke, and he knows that he's planning to kill Palpatine. So
yeah.
that could make sense of that.
Vader, I think he just keeps getting better with each original trilogy movie, even though he's already good at the. That's kind of like his morality. He gets better, but he's already a good villain in this one.
Right.
Kind of weird how he never actually meets Luke, though.
Well, I mean, in the TIE Fighter, but
yeah, I guess, but that's still something else. And I guess Luke runs past him when he kills Obi-Wan, but it's a bit weird how little connection the main villain and the main hero of the film have, especially considering how much of a connection they're gonna have in the future.
right.
Well, you have to remember that George didn't necessarily have like he had an outline, but he didn't have like a full it wasn't originally going to be revealed that Vader was, dad.
Right.
It was Vader was just some guy who killed his dad, which again it explains the disconnect.
It would have also the story of Vader, the connection between Vader and Luke, like you said, was Obi-Wan's old apprentice that killed Luke's dad. And so Obi-Wan would have that confrontation with him because it was his old apprentice, and they would have this moment of what we knew of Anakin was he was a good pilot and a Jedi. Okay, Luke's becoming a Jedi, and he was a good pilot. So, like, their final battle, their great battle, was in space.
Yeah,
At least
I do like though that even though they don't meet face to face, the movie still establishes a connection between them because obviously Vader has killed Luke's father, as far as we know, and his mentor figure in Obi-Wan, Luke in the meanwhile he destroys the Death Star. So if Vader ever returns, he's gonna want revenge for that.
Yeah, well, it's his connection to Vader for like A New Hope and the majority of Empire is that this is this man in the black suit. This is the man that killed my father. He's the reason I don't know my father.
Yeah,
and he killed the guy who was the closest thing I had to family after my aunt and uncle died. So like Luke, even though like it's not like blatantly explained. Luke has clear and present reason to hate Vader.
Well, he also Beggs also died from him too.
Yeah, Biggs was killed too. So and Biggs was an older brother figure, and
He killed his entire family.
Yeah, basically, yeah, killed his brother figure, his mentor, his actual father, his stand-in parents. All Vader has ever done, as far as Luke is concerned, is just take from him.
Oh, yes, I was going to add to that. And Vader in this movie isn't. He doesn't have a lot of moral nuance yet, even though a corruption arc is hinted at. So, from Luke's point of view, this person is pure evil, and he might not even really view him as a person, really, because he's got that mask covering up his face. It's easy to dehumanize Vader, and that makes it even stronger. Because then, when Luke faces this evil thing in the next movie, and he finds out who his father really is, that just makes the reveal all the more powerful.
Yeah, actually,
That's
you
like
need to.
the
I'm going to
worst
say it
thing that-
again. You need to watch So Uncivilized Luke video because
Yeah.
you're close to something that he points out.
Yeah,
I mean,
I'll
that
give it a watch.
that goes to show how much when he finds out it is his father, why he hates him so much. I think the comics do a pretty good
Yeah.
job of.
Yeah.
Well, I'll just. Should I spoil this detail from the video because it might?
I mean, it's about Luke.
I suppose you can. I mean,
I'll spoil it. So, the thing he talks about in the video is like, whatever Luke's turmoils on becoming a Jedi, they're nothing compared to the turmoils of becoming like his father. He says this reveal isn't just great because Luke's dad is the bad guy. It's the moment Luke's realized that he's promised to turn into this man.
Yeah. Yeah. The fear of becoming just like your horrible father is sadly relatable.
I know this is talking about Empire, but it does add to, in the cave when he sees his reflection, it's like, oh, what do you mean I could become, this monster, And it's like, oh, you're becoming the monster like your father. I don't know. It kind of adds more, it gets built on more in
Because
Dark Empire as well.
No offense to Vader, but if we take him just from the context of A New Hope, even though he's very dark and sinister, Vader seems a little cowardly.
Right.
Why so?
Wait. Yeah.
Well, like he only attacks those who he considers like weaker than them. And the indication that I typically, and it could kind of explain why Vader was so angry at the beginning of the film about the Death Star plan. He knows that the Emperor does not like broker or brook failure. And the fact that the plans were lost under his supervision looks poorly on him. So again, if you take away the context of, who it makes him look kind of like sniveling and cowardly because he's afraid to face the Emperor unless he has results.
Right.
But like again, he considers Obi-Wan weaker than him, so he's not afraid to face him. He considers some random rebel he's choking weaker than him. He considers some random princess from Alderaan weaker than him.
Well, he's scared of everyone except for Palpatine because Palpatine took his entire world away from him.
Yeah.
Or was there, he got him to destroy his world, all but Padme, to save Padme. Then she died anyway.
My point being, again, if you take away the context that Vader is Luke's father, and he seems like any other dangerous, because again he takes orders from Tarkin in A New Hope because the Emperor gave him mind you, we only hear about the Emperor. We don't even know that the Emperor is a Force wielder, but clearly Vader, after losing the Death Star plans, he's clearly afraid of something in that movie. It's not Obi-Wan, it's not Luke, it's not the princess, it's not any random rebel.
It would be Palpatine.
It's not even Tarkin.
It would be Palpatine.
Exactly. So you can kind of feel the Emperor's presence, even if it's not expressly shown.
Right. Something else.
I had something
Oh, go ahead.
I had some. While you think about that, I would have an insight about Vader. If you need a minute to think of what you were gonna say.
Me.
Okay.
Go ahead.
The funny thing about this movie is that from Vader's perspective, the people who he's going up against turn out to be your long lost son, your long lost daughter, that protocol droid you built all those years ago, your old master Obi-Wan, your old astromech droid who you had countless space battles with, that Wookiee that saved Ahsoka back in the day,
I know where
and
this is going.
some random guy called Han you never had any connection with.
Who's the guy in the vest? I've seen that.
Yeah. Who's the guy?
Wait, so I know everybody else here, but who's that weirdo in the vest?
Who's the guy in the vest? Something good about like. Oh, what were you saying? Were you?
It's Ian. Actually, I don't remember if you met Ian. And that's from an old Lego Star Wars animation. I don't know how many people will get that.
I get it. I like that reference. I knew what you were going once you got to Chewbacca. I was like, oh, I know. Who's the guy in the vest?
I know one of the original ideas, which I'm absolutely super glad that Lucas did not include it. One of the original concepts he was planning was that Han was going to be an orphan raised by Wookiees during the Clone Wars.
Yeah.
And not just because of the expanded universe stuff, but also because story-wise, it just doesn't make sense to put Han in Revenge of the Sith.
Why would he be able to talk if he was raised by Wookiees?
Well, I mean,
I know, but like he could have had like a random smuggler ship come by, and Han Solo just happened to be aboard it, and he's like this 10-year-old kid helping to unload a ship.
He was in the Millennium Falcon, and
the Millennium Falcon was there, but he's not there.
Right.
I'm kind of surprised that. Oh, sorry.
It doesn't look like it did in Solo. Sorry.
Yeah, I'm kind of surprised.
No,
that
it doesn't.
Even back in the 1970s, there were some like infographics saying that Chewbacca is a 200-year-old Wookiee. That seems like the kind of info that would come in later in the expanded universe.
I think George just randomly said that. They're like, "How old is this guy?" And he goes, "I don't know, like 200 years." I think
He's
Han
like a
Solo's
200-year-old
Wookiee.
Wookiee.
Did
Han Solo's his dog? Like that's
yeah. Did Chewbacca ever show up in the High Republic? Because timeline-wise, he could.
I mean, yeah, I don't think so. I think they had another Wookiee Jedi. I can't remember because again, I haven't read the High Republic, so I can't.
There's two Wookiees that are in High Republic. One of them's in the Acolyte.
Is it Chewbacca though?
No, it's not. They're Jedi Wookiees.
Yeah.
But you're right. I'm surprised there isn't. I'm surprised they didn't throw Chewbacca in there. I'm surprised they haven't done like a comic, even in the EU, about or maybe they did Yoda's relationship with the Wookiees, like explaining that line.
Yeah,
they were initially planning to do it in Dave Filoni's Clone Wars, but
I remember
it didn't pan out.
They were gonna.
In Clone Wars, Dooku also mentioned something about Yoda fighting a Tyrant attack with him by his side, so maybe Dooku was involved with the whole thing, but
that's a completely different story. But in the case of that, basically Yoda would have gone to Kashyyyk with the Bad Batch, assisting the Wookiees there, and they have it in the animation. There's an unfinished Kinrath. So I'm like, oh, so I guess the expanded universe is considered because stuff from like those old KOTOR games are appearing. So
you know what?
You want to know who was in the High Republic? You want to know who was in the High Republic?
Yoda.
Dexter was in the High Republic.
Oh, was he?
Jetster.
Oh,
apparently, yeah, but everyone's 100 years old now.
Well, how old is
Why-
his species supposed to be?
And as was said in Red
No,
Letter
but-
Media, no one's ever really gone.
Apparently, every alien has to be hundreds of years old now. Kiadi was
Even
in
the
High
hu-
Republic. Maz Kanata was there. Chewbacca wasn't, even though it would make sense. But come on, why? Oh yeah, Yara El Poof and Operances, but Operances was pretty old even in the EU, so I guess I can accept that. Weren't we talking about some movie from the 70s or something?
Yes.
Well, this
Yeah, I
is
was thinking
all-
about how we need to jump back
This
to
is
the main
all
topic.
the backstory of Chewbacca. We're talking about
Yeah.
Chewbacca's character.
Anything else on Darth Vader before moving on?
Anything else
one more
on
thing.
Darth Vader?
So, if you include the EU, of course, this movie came out first, but it does add a little bit to the pressure to Vader and his fear of Palpatine. Is that technically, if you don't like it, that's fine. But it was EU canon. The Force Unleashed game, Vader created the Rebel Alliance, and now they actually had a victory. Like
Yep.
he tried to fabricate a Rebel Alliance, kind of like how Palpatine created the Confederacy of Independent Systems. He tried to do that, and it backfired on him. Now they they took the plans. They're gonna blow up the freaking Death Star. Like that's not.
I kind of like that. Also, kind of ironic that Palpatine apparently had some level of control over all the four major factions in the movies.
You can almost see it at the Battle of Endor now. Finally, we're going to clean up this Star Killer mess.
Yeah, it's like gosh. Well, I mean,
This is our fault, Yeah, I know.
What I kind of see this Star Killer forming the Rebel Alliance. I see that as a like there were already rebel cells all over the place, and it was just the one little push that was like, all right, let's form together, let's make a big alliance, and like all this Western game stuff still happened, but
Yeah, Scott.
the Emperor's idea to create, sort of, yeah, or at least make it big enough for him to go, there they are, kill them, because they were so fast, they were so quick, so I don't really see them as creating the rebellion, but maybe making it an alliance. That's kind of how I see it. But that does add pressure to Vader. Going back to this movie,
Yeah.
he's like, shoot, they just stole our plans, and
Anything else on Vader?
You know how he killed Luke's father? There's actually a little bit more to the story than Obi-Wan let on, but I don't want to give spoilers.
yeah.
I'm
But
just
yes,
saying.
as far as Vader goes,
I'm just saying.
like I said,
whenever
if
replay-
take away the context of who he really is, and he seems kind of like scary, but hiding an inner fear of something bigger than himself.
Yeah, I think that's true, even if you do know who he is.
Yeah. Like there's this clear inner fear in him, and again, most of the time when he's picking on people, it's people weaker than him. And then I know a lot of people give trash to the Ewoks, but one thing that I keep seeing popping up in Star Wars in general is the Yoda lesson. Underestimating the little guy, and in Vader's instance in A New Hope, he underestimates. Not only underestimates Luke as like a clearly amazing pilot, but also underestimates some random smuggler with no major connection to the Force that can just randomly shoot one of his guys, and then underestimates the incompetence of one of his guys running into him stupidly. So So there's a lot of underestimation of little things taking the bad guys down, and with Vader, there's some clear like very small examples that pretty much ensured his defeat in that battle.
Mm-hmm. All right.
It's something I think
Anything else?
Lucas does best is that it's always something small and subtle that you don't expect.
True. Anything else on Vader?
No.
Other than he's big, scary man with red eyes, not particularly.
All right, let's move on to Grand Moff Tarkin.
We're talking about Tarkin.
Yeah, I think the what made me appreciate Tarkin a lot more is the Stark hyperspace war. It was fun. It's not the same Tarkin. It's a different member of the family, but it was a fun character to work with, and why that profile picture? Peter Cushing, a legendary actor, he played the character very well, and it's good that his best buddy Christopher Lee managed to get into the movies as well.
Mhm.
Oh, sad shame we never got Vincent Price in Star Wars.
That would have been
Tarkin
great.
Are you guys
And
married?
I could imagine him as an Imperial Admiral,
Baby, you all right over there? What are you doing?
or at least like part of a Moth Council or something like that.
You mean Ranulph or who?
Andy?
I was talking about Vincent Price.
Ah, yeah, Vincent Price. That makes
Ooh,
sense.
you know who he could have been. They would have required some great prosthesis, but he could have been Trioculus.
Ooh.
I have a third eye on my head.
That was a good impression.
I am the son of the Emperor. I have the glove of Darth Vader. Okay, you know what? I'm headcanoning now that he sounds like Vincent Price.
Epic. Does he still do egg puns though?
I have a third eye on my head.
All is going as I expected.
Okay, but who would you? Now that I think about it, who would be Moff Pissa?
I don't know that character, so
He's the guy in the floating chair that's like the second in command to Trioculus.
Oh my gosh.
Sorry, I haven't read those novels. I'm
Are
sorry.
we
He's a
talking
bu-
about a Moffrence?
Yes.
Hey, Alex.
Wait, the
Hey,
guy
Alex,
with
this
the creepy
is for
teeth?
you.
Is it the guy with the creepy teeth?
Yes.
Oh,
The one who gave the rest of the Moff Council a very welcoming dark greetings.
Oh man, I don't know, but it has to be someone who.
I'm sorry, I know it's corny, but I love that greeting line. Dark greetings to you, Magneto Alex.
So
You
they
know
have
what?
Jar
Let's
Jar
also have
Binks
that Vince.
there.
Let's
Jeez. What
also
was
have that be Vincent Price.
Also, Brady is pure evil.
That is true. Only to you, Alex.
Oh, you brought up the Leia kissing Luke thing, didn't you?
I think they're kissing each other.
Yeah. Well, fun fact. Everyone says that Luke kissed her, but anybody who actually paid attention knows that she kissed Luke, trying to make Han jealous.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
Not-
yeah.
I'm so sick
did
of people
nothing
putting
there.
the blame on Luke.
I've never heard anyone put the blame.
Yeah, I've never heard that.
Yeah, Luke
Yeah, no,
seems too shy to
people
initiate.
put the blame on Luke like all the time, saying, "Ew, you kissed your sister." I'm like, actually, she
true.
kissed me.
She did kiss her brother.
Mhm.
I've seen some of it, and it'll have what's her face from Game of Thrones, and Leia's like, "I kissed my brother." And then she's
Luke
like,
is innocent. Yes, he
"That's
is.
funny."
Luke is a good
innocent.
boy.
Oops.
Luke is incest. What?
Luke is a good boy who only dates very angry redheads.
Only
threatened to
there's
kill
a
him,
whole list.
or random blonde chicks living inside computers. Okay.
What is with? Okay, so yes, yes, Alex, I'm Jamie.
We know that C-3PO has bridal carried him. What about the angry redheads and the chicks who live in computers?
You have to know who I'm referencing, right?
Callista. Wait, no,
Yeah,
no.
Mara Jade and
Callista.
the other.
That was his
Callista
former.
Ming.
That was
Did
his
she have the yellow
former student.
lightsaber? Did she have the yellow lightsaber?
Callista, I think she does.
Is it
Yeah.
Ray?
Oh,
Of course, there's also that time Luke dated a red-skinned girl, or
Oh,
pink-skinned,
Danny?
depending on
Danny
how you look at
Zeltron.
Zeltrons.
He does. Danny
Oh
is
man,
the best.
I loved her. She deserved better.
She did.
And then there was that blonde girl Luke Skywalker from Rebellion that tried to date him when she was drunk.
What about Shira
I don't
Brie?
remember.
Oh
Shira
yeah,
Brie.
the other
Maya.
redhead that tried to kill him.
Yeah, he seems to have a type.
Redheads that tried.
to kill him.
Oh, there was also Domina Tag, another redhead that tried to kill him.
But did Luke like her? Did Luke like her though? I mean,
A little bit, I think. And then
Luke went
there
for
was
everybody.
I forgot her name. There was like a blonde girl in the original Marvel run. There was some girl that was crushing on
he
him
was
in
like,
the
He was like,
the
I'm not
classic
going to be a
comic
Jedi
strips.
anymore because this woman died. And I'm like,
there was that girl that
remember-
was looking for her clan and said that Luke's mother was among her clan, only for it to turn out that
oh, she must have been from Naboo then.
no, she
But
wasn't.
I remember
She was
I remember
she was
when-
lying to him.
I remember some. What was it called? I remember some Marvel comic where he does get like a girlfriend in the prologue, but she gets nuked or something, and Luke is cradling her. It's the weirdest comic
Yes.
panel in the entire
Yes.
run. He's like yelling "No!" and then like aside from that, it's like a tiny speech bubble on that same panel where he's like, "I wish I were God."
I saw that. Yeah, that's the blonde chick I was talking about from the original Marvel run.
Yeah.
for a prologue. Like,
all right. I love how talking about Tarkin led to.
I
Luke.
apologize.
It's okay.
Speaking of Tarkin,
it's because Alex showed up here. I'm sorry.
speaking of Tarkin, I was always curious why Chancellor Valorum looked kind of like him. The same kind of like it's not just like his old man, like kind of had that skinny, emaciated look. And then it hit me. I'm like after I read Cloak of Deception, I'm like, oh, they're both from Iriadu.
Wait,
it makes
Valorum from
sense.
Ariadu?
Really?
Is Valorum
Yeah,
from
they're
Ariadu?
both from Iriadu.
I thought
know
Valorum
that.
was
I knew
from
that
Coruscant.
I
No,
know that
Valorum is from Iriadu. He has family business corporation there.
No.
Okay, I know that Valorum and Ranulph Tarkin they absolutely hate each other's guts. They
Val before
always bicker like small
Neil
children.
before Zod.
You go to mass.
Yeah, Neil before Valorum, but okay, what if? Okay, so I think Ranulph Tarkin was eventually like established as being Tarkin's cousin, but was originally envisioned as being Wilhuff's father. So, what if?
What if, man?
There was an affair between Ranulph Tarkin's wife and Valorum, and Tarkin is actually Valorum's son, and that's why they hate each other.
Yeah. But yeah, like as far as Tarkin goes, even if you don't read any of the expanded universe material, he on his own is a very just the way Peter Cushing kind of looks, a very intimidating looking character, which
Yeah,
makes
it seems
me
like
so glad that there is not a single camera shot of him with the bunny slippers.
yeah, he just looks like Joseph Goebbels in an alternate universe.
Wait, what did Alex say? Hang on, I'm trying to see. I would quote the Prophet of Truth, but he's terrible voice for him in Halo 3. All the good quotes come from 2 where he didn't voice the character. Yeah, that was Michael Wincott, if I recall. But yeah, no. As far as villains go, Tarkin. like he seems like a genuinely intimidating, high-ranking officer. Like even with the other people, like God, I can't remember who they are, but like the people that played folks like Piet and Veers and Ossel and
I'm afraid Tarkin just doesn't stick out that much, and he's kind of overshadowed by Darth Vader.
Would you guys
to
say
me
that?
to me he stuck out
Would you guys
because he
say that
again he
Tarkin's
commanded
the-
Vader and he commanded authority. I'm like, okay, what does this guy have on this sorcerer?
Yeah, but when you think of villains in A New Hope, you always think of Darth Vader first. He's got the intimidating presence. He's got the scary voice. He's got the lightsaber, and yeah, Tarkin being able to bottle that around is. But then he isn't even in the other two movies because he's dead.
Yeah.
Is Tarkin?
Yeah, I do. But
best?
to me, I thought he was pretty intimidating. But that's just me. But yeah, most people like when they think of the villain of Star Wars, they think Darth Vader.
Mm-hmm. Is Tarkin the best Imperial officer we see on screen?
As far as I'm concerned, yes. Like none of the other officers compare.
Yeah.
And you had some pretty decent performances, but there's like none of them like pretty much hold a candle to his kind of whole presence. Even like when they're like talking about like the Death Star run, he's like, evacuate in a moment of trial. I'm like, he has like this sort of confidence that the others don't have.
It's because he was comfy in his slippers.
Yeah.
Yes, he was. He was very comfy in his slippers.
Yeah, I if I was Carrie Fisher or any actor in that scene, I wouldn't be able to look away from the slippers.
I'm always like, I'm not leaving my Death Star. I just put on my bunny slippers.
You know what would have been fantastic if Christopher Lee and him had like something. I don't know. Since they were friends, I don't know if you guys are familiar with that.
I'm not sure.
Yeah, no, I am familiar considering their shared history with like horror and Sherlock Holmes movies.
Dracula and Van Helsing.
Yeah. But the one thing I do kind of wish had happened would have been like if Count Dooku had mentioned Will F. Tarkin at some point. Like
that would have been good.
They should have met in the Clone Wars.
Well, did you guys like Tarkin showing up in the Clone Wars?
I mean, it makes sense since we see him command the military in Revenge of the Sith. So, it makes sense for the. It kind of makes sense for the Citadel episode if you overlook Evan Peel dying.
Right.
The courtroom AU is just nonsense. The courtroom AU is just what were the writers thinking, having Tarkin be a prosecutor, and why does he even want to kill Ahsoka so bad? Didn't she save his life?
Right.
It was well. He also was mad at her because she didn't give the other half of the code.
Did you guys? Do you guys think Tarkin should have been the main officer instead of Neil Yaren?
No, I think he's too unlikable. I think giving Yularen is. I think using a different, more likable character makes sense.
Yeah.
Also,
No.
I feel like Yularen is Filoni's only good example of a negative character arc, because when he's in Rebels and he's with the Empire now, he still has those kind of respectable and likable traits. He doesn't just like turn into a full villain overnight. Usually like when Filoni wants to turn a character evil, like Barriss Ophi, they are just barely recognizable.
Right.
Or when he wants to turn someone good, like Asajj Ventress or Bo-Katan, everything they did is just completely okay now, even though both of these have sexually assaulted characters on screen in a kids show, and no one really seems to mention that.
You've seen my posts. No.
Bo-Katan
is not a hero. Get her out of here.
Absolutely.
Even the actress.
Neither is Ventress. neither is Ventress.
Yeah.
But Yularen develops in a more believable way, so I like that. And if Tarkin had been working with Anakin that much, I just feel, Tarkin would be too much of a jerk. That we would root for him to lose.
I'm surprised we didn't get Tarkin in the multimedia project.
That's a shame. He would have been cool.
We got
To be
Pelion.
fair, I thought Rogue Planet had him undergoing like criminal charges or something, but maybe Palpatine swept that under the rug.
I don't remember. It's been a while since I've read that book.
But Rogue Planet isn't part of the Clone Wars multimedia project.
Oh
is
yeah,
it?
that's true. No, it's not.
Yeah.
No, but it is connected to NJO.
Yeah, it's a prequel NJO.
If you don't mind me asking, what do you think of Ranulph Tarkin?
Oh, from Star Hyperspace War?
See.
He's all right. A bit prideful, egotistical, and boastful, but like I kind of expect that from people in Tarkin's family. So
I'm kind of surprised with how different they are personality-wise, because both of them are absolutely horrible. But Tarkin is at least polite and gentlemanly. Well, Wilhuff is polite and gentlemanly. Ranulph is always clenching his teeth and insulting people.
No. Ranulph was a bit more insulty.
Yeah,
Ranulph was a bit more insulty, whereas I do remember Wilhuff being a bit more, I guess you would say middle to mild mannered. Like he wasn't he wasn't like angry, bad sort of thing. He was just like he was civil until someone was uncivil.
Hey, thank you guys for having me on. I'm gonna have to get going.
Later Find Editions.
Nice to have you.
Have a good
Thanks
one.
for coming.
Yeah, let me know when we're doing the next one.
Thanks.
It'll be next year.
Next year? All right.
Yeah, in May.
Nice.
Yep.
All right. Bye.
I know Walrus at some point is going to do the comic books, and those are the streams I definitely want to be a part of.
I feel like those are the ones I'd be able to contribute the most to if it's something I dub.
Same, because like I can talk about the comic books for days.
Do you,
have you ever
all
watched
the reviews of this?
one more Luke and Leia.
See you guys.
See ya.
Yeah, but so if you're so interested in comic books, have you ever watched some of my dubs before?
No, but I do at some point. I found a lot of people who like dubs. Some were audio dramas, but I found a lot of people who like dub comics. You're obviously one of them. And your stuff does look interesting, so I'm do intend on. But I have read those comics before, the ones you put, except for Aura's Song. I need to get a physical copy of that at some point.
I think it was. I think it wasn't a collection, but I think it was done for some like Women's Day special or something.
Yeah. It was a Dark Horse Presents like girls can get it done type thing.
Yeah.
I'll probably just get it in either an omnibus or a Legends Epic collection just to get it because like.
Oh, Ted, how sweet.
No, I say, Auditech is best. Check it out. Yeah, no, he is. But yeah, no, I've at some point I do plan on checking out your comics because, like I said, I heard the Villy you had on there and he was pretty good. So I'm like, I'm not gonna.
Aura's Song got a completely new soundtrack I composed.
Oh.
Yeah, and then I reused that in The Hunt for Aura Sing because Aura Sing related music and Darkness for Anzati related music.
Ooh.
Cool.
Yes.
I noticed you. I don't know if you just didn't have enough voices, but you kind of skipped Infinity's End.
I skipped Infinity's End because I didn't like it that much, and because I don't know what music to use for the Night Sisters, and I just wanted to get to Darkness already. That comic is way better, and Infinity's End
Yeah,
barely
Darkness is
contributes
leagues
anything
better.
to this story. Infinity's End doesn't
Darkness
contribute much.
Was actually the first appearance of my favorite sort of background Jedi.
Is it Terasa? Zhao?
No.
Colm?
No, it's the little guy. It's Master Zhao.
Zhao. Chad Noss voiced him in my dub, and he said that's his favorite role he ever voiced.
I love his description of the Force because it's so like he knows his place in life type guy. Like he's
If you don't like my soup, that means you're a bad person. It's a you problem.
Is he wrong though?
I mean, he's not.
Well, that's kind of why I like him. Is that Zhao is that guy who gives you a soup. His recipe doesn't change. The problem is you're not balanced. Once you start getting balanced, suddenly the soup tastes good.
My friend Monica was also a big fan of Zhao when she watched the comic, and she was afraid he was gonna die. And apparently that was the plan, that Zhao would have been toast. And I wonder what could have killed him. Was he gonna face Carco?
It probably would have been Carco.
I think Carco needed a.
Hey, Everest is here. I met Everest at Legacy Expo. Hey, buddy.
Oh. Hello, Everest. Remember me?
All right. Let's move on to Tatooine.
So are we talking about the city or the desert anus?
The
Please
planet.
don't use that word.
Sorry. But yeah, Tatooine is a very, despite it just being like a hot, dangerous desert, it's a very interesting environment.
Mhm.
You see, my thoughts on Tatooine is I don't really like all the sand because it's rough and coarse and irritating and it gets
Yes,
everywhere.
of course.
Mhm.
But I think I have something to say on it because I dubbed Outlander, and that was a very unique comic to dub because Tatooine has a lot of it has a very special atmosphere. You think it wouldn't because it's just a lot of sand, basically. But
Well,
there's
think
something
about it this way.
you know.
Think about it this way. There's literally like a type of traveling gypsies that travel the sands.
That's a slur. You probably shouldn't say that.
Oh boy. I'm honest with how I am though, but like honestly, like there's literally like a like these scavenger people that travel the sand, picking up parts and droids and selling them to the locals, and then you have the locals who live in like these random sand farms that somehow collect water on a planet with two suns.
Maybe there's some underground rivers or something, but but like doing the audio work on. Actually, I did two comics that take place on Tatooine: Outlander and also Old Wounds. That's the much more famous one. Yeah, so when I dubbed both these comics, it was very nostalgic, especially Outlander, because there's so many iconic sounds compared to it, like the banthas, the desert, which I took from one of the Tatooine levels in Lego Star Wars, the winds. A lot of the music tracks are obviously the skiff, Jabba himself. It was all just it was nostalgic in a way the other dubs that maybe take place on a planet that doesn't have a set sound design aren't. Yeah, so this one was just especially nostalgic to me. All the Tusken Raider noises, of course. I feel like Outlander is a comic that really wants to show you everything you loved about Tatooine, or everything that bad Boba memories. I haven't watched any of the Disney live-action Star Wars shows,
You're not missing
and I'm
out.
not exact.
Yeah,
I'm
you're not missing
counting
much.
for that to change. Yeah,
But yeah, like I said, I was just like then you have the people that like live in the harsh desert reality. Basically the other type of natives that like fight the other locals because they feel like they're land snatching. That sort of thing.
I'm surprised with how much world building there is done for Tatooine, especially since the Tuskens aren't really that important to the plot. But hey,
like I said, you got the Jawas, you got the Tuskens, you got the local moisture farmers.
yeah,
There's implied other beasts from like dead skeletons. Even the banthas, which I was surprised to find out that like those are just elephants walking backwards. Yeah, then of course there's like the spaceports, which is like full of civilization, and in a bar alone you can find 50 different races just sitting there drinking together, and then like a spaceport that's
Don't forget the giant dragon skeleton. So,
well, that's what I was referencing. I said there's implied other creatures. I mean, other than the big towering thing that eats little pig guards, or the and I'm gonna say it again because I know it's gonna bug you. The desert,
you won't.
the desert anus.
You won't.
The desert anus, with tentacles and spikes.
For real, I'm being kind of. For real, I'm undergoing. I'm going through a lot right now. I'd prefer if you don't intentionally upset me. I'm not having an easy time at the moment.
Oh, I'm sorry, man. I was just cracking up, making light of stuff. I wasn't trying to crap on anybody or anything.
We should just what I was saying, Tatooine has is also very unique in its sounds and sound effects. I knew I had to get that right when I was starting to do Outlander, and to a lesser extent, Old Wounds. But Old Wounds is less about the area and more about the
confrontation.
More about the characters within. There, one thing that one sound effect I was happy to include is that Obi-Wan's weird howl from the special edition that plays when he jumps out of the sand. I try to make it cool, like this. It's some cheering onto him.
That's supposed to be a crate dragon call.
Yeah, but I took the weird call.
You mean the
sounds like, yeah, it's subtle, but it's there.
Now, the original one, the one from the older versions of the film, was a crate dragon call, and I know that because I don't know if you've ever done the Kenobi audiobook.
I used that one too when Ki-Adi-Mundi faces the crate dragon. That's the sound it makes. The original call.
I'm assuming you also use the sound effects from KOTOR as well from the Crate Dragon War.
Yeah, those weren't easy to find, but some Rob VA from Star Wars Audio Comics sent those to me.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. Because good, otherwise I would have just had the one.
Yeah. But, Tatooine, just its entire environment, again, you're just on... And Tatooine kind of paints a picture for how the rest of the galaxy is going to be. Because you're just looking at one particular planet and you see all these different cultures, all these different alien races, all congregating on the the furthest point from the bright center of the universe. And it kind of makes you wonder, how does it get more populated, and how does things differ on other worlds?
Mm-hmm. Is that it for Tatooine?
Any other thoughts, I detect?
I'm not on Tatooine really. I think I said everything I wanted to about Tatooine.
Move on to the Death Star.
I love the wall panels. And apparently, a comic artist, Davide Fabiri, loves them too because he puts them on everything, even if it's not on the Death Star.
I just remember an old Family Guy bit where you had stormtroopers, and they literally had that same design on like a photo frame in their apartment.
I think it's a neat detail that we still see astromech droids like driving around. I love the Death Star droids, the insect-looking ones. Did I
the little
tell
mouse?
you guys? No, the RA7s. Actually, did I tell you guys my theory about the RA7s? I think I mentioned it to Walrus before.
I don't think I've ever
Mhm.
seen the RA7s.
They look a bit like Forlom, but a bit slimmer. They're protocol droids on the Death Star.
Oh, those ones. Okay.
Okay, and you also see one of those RA7s on the Jawa Sandcrawler. And if you do the lore research, you'll find out those were basically built to spy on whatever Imperial officer they were assigned to and report back to the Empire. Now, here's my theory. We see one of them on the Sandcrawler. What if that droid is what alerted the Empire that the droids were in that Sandcrawler, and that's what got the Jawas killed?
You know, I hadn't considered that possibility, but now that you bring it up, that's actually very nuanced. I didn't even realize that's a detail I didn't even know about those particular. That's awesome. So actually, yeah, your thing kind of makes sense because it wasn't even like a day or two after the droid informed. Like you already had like stormtroopers searching the pod area and everything, but it wasn't even like a day or two after the Sandcrawler paid the Lars home a visit and sold them the droids that suddenly it's been attacked.
Yeah.
And it's severely damaged.
Also in Rebels, the Ghost Crew adopts one of those RA7s and brings it to the base, and I sure am glad that Dave Filoni apparently doesn't know that detail about them being spies. Otherwise, this could have been a rather detrimental plot point.
That's true. Anything else on the Death Star?
The Death Star, I think I don't like the idea that it uses kyber crystals to blow up planets in the new canon, because why does everything have to be about those kyber crystals? And why, apparently they're all green. I thought they were supposed to be white until they bond with the Jedi or something. Like, wouldn't they be red with the old bleeding? But that's Disney not making sense.
Yeah.
About the Death Star in this movie, I mean, it is complete, of course, but it's a huge contrast to how it looks in The Force Unleashed, while all these massive hallways that are open and everything.
Yeah. And isn't that only like a year before the movie?
Yeah.
To be fair, we never saw the throne room for the original Death Star.
Yeah, but there's this whole area with those. The Death Star in Force Unleashed is huge with all these, all these giant holes everywhere.
That is true, but I think, I don't like the use of everything being done with kyber crystals either, because in the EU they had like a whole variety of different crystal types and variants, like not just for lightsabers, but for like things like, for example, the original things, at least for the EU, that were used for the Death Star were apparently Mygeeton power crystals.
Yeah, that ties it into the movies that much better.
Yeah, but my point being is like when you I used to be a big fan of like the simplicity of it, but when you simplify things too much, like, oh, these crystals are like I'm like, I don't know. I feel like there should be a variety of crystals. That you've got color crystals and power crystals and crystals that respond to individual beings, and crystals that are just like other life forms, or crystals that are just crystals.
I think it makes sense that there would be different crystals, not just one kind of crystal that would offer that for the Jedi and that.
Makes me wonder though, could you build a lightsaber out of a Maigituan power crystal?
I think with enough focus and precision, probably, and it would probably be a very powerful energy blade.
I mean, every lightsaber is a very powerful energy blade, so I guess that's.
Well, I'm not sure. Have you read the Young Jedi Knight books?
Oh wait, since it's like the Death Star crystal, you just throw your lightsaber in the air and it destroys the planet it hits.
Well, I only asked because Tenel Ka built her lightsaber with one of her Tiara Galanor gems. And it was so it is possible that you can pretty much build a lightsaber with any type. And I know it's mentioned in Shadows of the Empire, but Luke's lightsaber crystal technically isn't a real crystal. It's an artificial one he constructed.
It's hinted that Sharad and Asherad also had at least Asherad had an artificial crystal, because he definitely didn't leave Tatooine to build to go to Ilum to get a crystal.
Yeah. Well, I think one of the sabers was his father, and then the other ones, was his artificially created one.
One is his father's, and the other one is something that, from his own admission, he built with things he brought, that his father brought with him to Tatooine. And I don't know why Sharad would bring a second lightsaber crystal, so I guess they found a way to synthesize it somehow.
It wouldn't be too difficult to synthesize a crystal if you couldn't find one of your own. Because according to Obi-Wan's booklet that Luke found during Shadows of the Empire in his old home, he gave him a basic design, which is again why Luke's lightsaber looks so much like Obi-Wan's. Is like a basic design on how to construct one and then how to make a crystal. And we also find out about that process in I'm not sure which Darth Maul story. I can't remember exactly which one. I can't remember if it's like Shadow Hunter or Saboteur, but it's one of the Darth Maul stories. We find out his crystals are artificial construction as well.
Don't the Jedi and the EU usually use Adagan crystals?
Some extent.
But,
some use, yeah.
Asherad would definitely be an exception either way, because he wasn't even trained in the temple at the time. He was raised by his father on Tatooine, and it's outright stated he never left Tatooine until he was 15, and by then he already had a lightsaber. So his training was very unusual. So it makes sense he wouldn't get a normal lightsaber crystal.
I always find it that Asherad met Kid Anakin during his Padawan days.
That was a fun scene to edit. In later stories, Asherad's lightsaber changes to green, which could hint that he may have changed the crystal, but I heard that they tried to retcon it to say that Sharad always had a green lightsaber, even though we clearly see he didn't.
Yeah, that was just because again, even in those days, if you look at old comics like Jedi Council Acts of War, even Ki-Adi-Mundi has a purple lightsaber in the early. That was really just an aesthetic choice, because again, the movies hadn't necessarily come out, and when they did, they didn't necessarily know what. what color lightsaber everybody had. So they decided, okay, so now we know what lightsaber colors they had. We'll just retcon it and say, yeah, that was just for coloring effect, just to see, cool. What if? But in reality, this is the color of their lightsabers.
I like the older colors. They're closer to the rest of the expanded universe because if
I
Luke,
do
Sneak,
too.
and Iota can have everything, then why? Then the old Republic can have everything. Then why is the Clone Wars era so restrictive?
Again, like I no offense to George, but I kind of blame him for keeping it just a simple blue and green when he could have had yellow and orange and all these other colors, like silver, like just all these awesome colors he could have used, but never did.
Yeah. Yeah. And what else do we have to say about the Death Star?
It's a big planet blower upper gun.
Yep.
Yeah.
Right. Should we talk about Alderaan at all, or nah?
You don't really see it in the movie beyond the surface or the.
I feel
the
like
outer...
everything we could have said about Alderaan is what we would have said for Leia.
Okay. Then let's move on to Yavin 4.
To Yavin 4, I loved it in the original Clone Wars show. That red moon. And the red moon is there in this movie. You can briefly see it. But it's used.
Is it a red moon or the red giant?
I think it's. Isn't it?
I don't know.
Yeah.
I figured it was a red giant because that planet is the original Yavin. That's why the green moon is called Yavin 4.
Isn't that Yavin
I guess
Prime?
maybe it's okay. Maybe it is the planet of Java, but it's also kind of funny that the rebels are hiding out in a temple that was built by the Sith.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, the ultimate irony there.
much more thematically appropriate in Clone Wars 03, with Anakin having his little dark side moment there. But yeah,
that's a good duel.
That's the duel.
I like to imagine during that duel you see like a ghost of Exar Kun eating popcorn, watching the whole thing.
Yeah.
Well, he would have been there. At
Yeah.
the time.
Maybe he was like shooting his dark sideness into Anakin or something.
It was probably just the general presence of the temple.
Yeah. The red light was a good atmosphere to be evil in.
Yeah.
And Exar Kun was there like, holy crap, is that the chosen one? And yeah.
But yeah, Yavin I think is a very pretty like jungle world.
Yeah, it's pretty. We don't see too much of it, sadly.
We see more aspects of the base than we see of the actual world, which again, that's another reason I'm pretty thankful for stuff like the Gandhi series and the Clone Wars, not just Clone Wars, but the expanded universe, because it did kind of flesh out the world a little more. Like we knew there were creatures on the planet, we just didn't know exactly what type of creatures might dwell there.
Mm-hmm.
They should have learned the right, and I think he does in Galactic Battlegrounds. I finished that mission, but for some reason the game didn't save. It took me like an hour to.
Oh wow!
It was
that sucks, bro.
It did.
Anything else on Yavin?
As far as the planet goes, no, like, yeah.
The medal ceremony is pretty iconic.
Mm-hmm.
I do have something like that. All of Luke's stuff would have burned down with the house. So that yellow jacket he wears at the end of the film, did he borrow that from Han? Because that outfit all movie.
Well, I think the
Because Han
rebellion
is
gave
tall
him.
compared to Luke.
I think the rebellion
if
just
it-
gave him all new clothing because he had the.
Okay, but like,
yeah.
Yeah, but the Lego figure of that Luke reuses the leg piece from Han Solo. But Han's much taller than Luke. Maybe his clothes wouldn't fit him.
It's possible. Like I still cling to the idea that like the rebellion gave him clothes because I think his pants are Corellian, but at the same time, like he also has that belt with the black shirt, and I'm pretty sure that's the same black shirt he has underneath his Jedi robe in Return of the Jedi.
Could be. I don't know. What was I gonna say? How do you like the British-made torture droid?
Oh, you talking about the one Richard Marquand played before he passed?
No, the ball. It says British-made on the syringe. You can actually see it in the movie.
Wait, which droid are you talking about? I'm trying to figure out.
The round one.
The
interrogator
training
droid.
the interrogator.
Mhm.
I thought you were talking about the training remote. No.
It
says
British made on this. I actually once commissioned an artist to draw me a picture with that droid, and I specifically told them to include the British made.
I mean, it's an interrogation droid. It's meant to, like, inject you with truth serum and poke you with little things if you don't answer the questions properly. That's all I have to say about that. It's a tiny ball that pokes you.
Is that representative of the British?
I mean,
Yeah, the syringe injects you with tea. And that's why Leia gets the accent when she talks to Tarkin. She was injected with the British tea and started talking in a British accent.
So she just had random bursts of British just sprinkled in.
It wasn't random. It was concentrated British.
Oh, I know, but it only happened at like certain points. That's why I was.
Yeah.
That's why I'm like, is that the effect? It's just kind of a delayed effect because I'm assuming they had her in that cell for a couple hours.
The tea eventually left her system.
Well, yeah, but I'm guessing they had her in there for a couple of hours before the tea was really active.
Yeah.
All right. Anything else on the movie itself before we move on to the deleted scenes?
The movie itself, I'm not sure actually.
All right.
I mean, I do like the final battle with the X-wings.
Yeah. The trench run.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Let's move on to the deleted scenes then. Are there any deleted scenes that you like or you wish were in the movie?
I don't. That doesn't really answer the question, I know, but there's a common misconception I wanted to address. A lot of people think that the music from Dexter's Diner was actually first used in a deleted scene with Biggs, Darklighter, and Luke. But that's just a fan edit. It wasn't there originally. I guess the big scenes are good because they kind of give Luke a bit more to do. But they add a bit more tragedy to when Biggs is actually killed. And apparently they're still canon because I think they are like pretty much adapted in the Empire comics, but like from Biggs's perspective.
Oh yeah, I remember.
I think it's kind of sad they didn't make it in because Biggs is now just some guy we never got to spend much time with.
I think they could have found a place to put it, but I think the reason George kept it out was because it was primarily just political and wasn't like necessary for the story. But I do like the scene. I did actually enjoy it. The parts of it that I could hear at least, because some of the dialogue felt a little too low for my hearing, or maybe I just have bad hearing. But like I understood for the most part what they were talking about. Like the whole reason Biggs wanted Luke to join us because he's like your uncle needs to like have a wake up call. He's like that the Empire's pushing guys like you guys like him out of business.
Mm-hmm.
Does Jabba the Scot count as a deleted scene?
I would say no because they did bring him back in Hutt form.
Yeah.
Okay.
I feel like most of the deleted scenes from this movie they make sense why they got deleted. There really isn't much that I would really want in this. It's really just the Biggs stuff because I feel like it'll flesh out.
I don't remember very many deleted scenes other than like one or two Tatooine things.
Yeah, there's
Luke
one of
watching the space battle from the beginning through like binoculars. I think that's a cool way to tie him into that. Like, don't know where I would insert that and not.
That would have been cool if they kept that.
Like,
that
I'm not sure how to clean that. How to insert that in the film cleanly without it coming off as too jarring.
Yeah, there's one of Aunt Beru getting blue milk. That's one. Yeah.
Wasn't there one with Cammy and Fixer?
Yeah, at Tashi Station.
That one I vaguely remember, but I don't remember too much about it.
Yeah. Basically, they're there to just kind of be mean to Luke. That's really all they do.
Yeah, I was like, in the comic of Empire, Fixer is like unnecessarily aggressive towards like Luke and Biggs, and I'm like, oh, he just came back to say hi. Why are you being such a jerk?
Yeah.
I don't remember that too well, but I do remember a comic where Owen and Brew are talking about Luke's father for a bit. That was kind of interesting, but that got retconned.
Mm-hmm. Anything else on deleted scenes?
Like I said, other than the Tatooine bits, I don't remember very many. I'd have to go look at them again.
Oh, that's
I
right.
don't think I have anything else to say.
Han and the girl in the cantina.
Oh, that one.
Yeah.
Yeah. In hindsight, it's good that they deleted that. I mean, with how the story with where the story was going.
Wait, which scene was this?
In the
Han
cantina.
was kissing a random girl in the cantina.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe I don't know what happened to her. If she
Maybe just some chick owed him a favor.
Yeah, I wonder what happened to her after. I'm guessing that Han and her weren't in a committed relationship because of how the rest of this goes. But I think she has a very Earth-sounding name, like Sarah or something like that.
It's Jenny.
A Jenny.
Yeah.
Yeah, most of the time with Han Solo's relationship, he's only really had two ones that were like legit love commitment. Everything else was just like, we're having fun,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
No strings attached.
Yeah, maybe. I hope Jenny found someone nice, and
Yeah,
I
you'd
kind
hope
of hope
so.
it's someone we know.
Now that would be interesting. Like, just like some random, maybe like Boshek or something like that.
Who's Boshek again?
You remember that pilot in the cantina that pointed Ben to Chewie and Han?
That guy. That guy.
Yeah, Boshek.
I don't know. Maybe.
All right. Anything else about A
Not
New Hope?
particularly.
Anything from the novelization, comic book
Like I said,
adaptation?
I didn't have a lot of chance to. Like the thing that I remember from the comic book was in one deleted scene from the Death Star where they actually mentioned Vader as being a Sith Lord.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
And one other
apparently-
detail. In
Yeah.
the original Marvel run, Jabba the Hutt was an alien. Although that was later retconned as him
Yeah,
being Mosep Benid.
I referenced that earlier, but apparently Luke has a dog in the novel.
Oh, yes,
Luke-
he does.
Oh wait,
He
Luke
does
has a
mention-
dog?
Yes.
Yeah, Luke has a dog. Apparently Lando had a dog as well, but it's not mentioned here.
Is it like one of those little Tuscan lizard dogs?
It says dog.
It's a dog.
Yeah.
Also, there's a lesser-known comic adaptation from the Droids comic series, which adapts this movie, but with more TV show hijinks. With the dog named
Yeah.
Lindy, that would make sense. It shows some species on Tatooine we've never seen before or since, and it also was the first comic to ever show us the tracking signal that the Empire put on the Falcon.
Ooh, yeah, I forgot about that. It's been a bit since I've read. Because I have the Marvel Droids and a Dark Horse omnibus. It's just been a while since I read them.
I've got that same one.
I just remember one of the issues being called The Last Jedi.
That's not from Droids. That's from the Last Jedi was a weird title because Luke would have known about Yoda at that point.
No. I'm not talking about the one from the original Marvel run. No, there is an issue among the Droids comics for the A New Hope Droids adaptation, which is called The Last Jedi. It was
I don't remember
in
that at
relation
all.
to Obi-Wan fighting Vader.
Oh, I don't remember that. But okay.
If you have a Dark Horse omnibus, you can flip it out and see the title there. But
I'll look it up.
all right. But yeah, like if you count that, there's literally four different things with that same title.
Yeah.
Two comic books, a novel, and a movie. So
It's
I
too
actually
good to
won the
resist.
novel in a contest, but I didn't really finish it because it was a sequel to something I haven't read.
oh yeah, Coruscant Knights trilogy. I like those books.
Yeah. But I feel like I couldn't really read Last Jedi without knowing that.
Hmm. All right. Anything from the video game or anything
Video
else?
game. I think the only
I never played the
notable
old
video
NES game.
Yeah, I haven't either.
Lego Star Wars has a bunch of fun Easter eggs sprinkled here and there. And I mean, does that Tatooine level in Force Unleashed count as a New Hope adaptation?
I guess. Although you do fight Force Ghost Obi-Wan, which I always thought was kind of weird.
Yeah, it's a fun what if scenario thing. Just for fun.
Super Star Wars for SNES is stupid hard. Yeah.
How about what's it called? Star Wars trilogy for the Game Boy Advance.
I
Anyone played that?
have never heard of that title. That
Played
sounds interesting.
It's 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 an alright game. You play as Luke, making your way through the original trilogy, unlocking Force powers along the way.
Maybe I have heard of it, but it's been years because I feel like my brain is unlocking like an old like TV trailer I saw for it.
All right. Any other things about A New Hope before we end?
I need to check out more
unusual.
content for it.
All right. Well, it's been fun. It's really
It
fun.
has. Thanks for having me.
Of course. We'll do this again
Yeah, I
for
appreciate it.
Empire Strikes Back in next May. Probably around the day that Empire came out, so somewhere around the 21st.
Okay.
Will you be doing like the movies from there on, like after that, Return of the Jedi, and then Phantom Menace?
I'll do Return of the Jedi in November, so a year from now. And then we'll go from there.
Nice.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
One more thing, Walrus, how's your NJO reading going?
I'm on Star by Star right now.
Oh, okay. You guys still got to catch up to me.
Yeah. I'm about halfway through that.
Oh, nice. That's a great one.
Yeah, so far it's pretty good.
I'm on Rebel Dream first time with myself, so
Okay. All right.
Goodbye. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, thank you for
thanks for having.
yeah, it's been nice.
Appreciate it. Thanks, Walrus.
Yeah. Thank you for everyone commenting and watching. And with that, we'll see you next time.